Welcome everyone, it's Drakomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. We are going to be continuing up this incredibly scary tower. And when I say incredibly scary, I'm not memeing you anymore. I mean it. Like my other account, I'm still struggling past Bommel 2. I can't. It's so hard to get the tempo with the Templar strat. Like, it's so much easier just to have a full team block damage and say, I'm not messing with it. Like, full team block damage is so much more useful versus Bommel than trying to tune every individual. Because then you don't have any backups. You just have the Templar, and you have to keep him alive the entire time. And it's frustrating. It's obscenely frustrating. I might as well show the other Bommel to show, yes, I have a team that can beat it. Is it technically possible to beat it with... Is it technically possible to beat it with, Templar? Yes. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. The Templar is the hard mode method. Because you have to get the timing perfect. I just don't feel in the mood to make that timing because you have to delay it just enough, but not too much. You have to balance the timing each and every single time.
All right.
And it's frustrating. It's genuinely frustrating.
Because you have to delay it just enough, but not too much. You have to balance the timing.
The reason I'm
each
hammering
and every single time. And it's frustrating. It's genuinely frustrating.
Because I do not need her to mess up everything. Because all it takes is her getting one counterattack off at this high in the tower. And we're in for a world of pain.
This Valkyrie.
That's all it takes.
I do not need her to mess up.
This is the highest
everything.
I've ever been.
Because all it takes is her getting one counterattack off
the very
at this
top.
High in the tower. And we're in for a world of pain. That's all it takes.
This is the most fear I've ever had in this part of the Doom Tower.
This is the highest I've ever been in this tower. The fear
factor is real.
We're reaching the very top now.
The fear.
This is the most fear I've ever had in this part of the Doom Tower. The fear factor is real.
You might want something at first, and then you realize what the cost of that actually is. That's what this feels like. Yes, I've wanted to get and beat this version of the Doom Tower, but this is the scariest, the absolute scariest version.
First, and then you realize
absolute.
What the cost of that actually is.
Without compromise, the scariest.
That's what this feels like.
Edition.
Yes, I've wanted to get and beat this version of the Doom Tower. But this is the scariest, the absolute scariest version. The absolute, without compromise, the scariest edition.
Now, the reason I'm not putting
of this exists.
Rector in here is because my main my main need is to have block buffs. Like, I don't need as much damage mitigation.
The reason I'm not
Syl does
putting
most of it. And you're like, what?
Rector in here is because
She heals enough
my main need
by herself
is
that for most
to have
wave content,
block buffs.
she actually works perfectly fine. That may come
I
as
don't need as
deeply
much damage
unpleasant
mitigation,
shock.
and Syl does most of it.
But I'm sorry.
And you're like, what?
Syl can actually do
Well,
it.
she heals enough by
Deal
herself
with it.
that for most wave content,
I
she
don't
actually
even need
works
to use Rector
perfectly
everywhere, but
fine.
there are places I only use Rector
That may
instead
come
of
as
Syl.
a
Most of
deeply
them are very
unpleasant
specific
shock,
affinity,
but I'm sorry. Syl can actually do it. Deal with it.
This is past
I don't
400.
even need to use Rector everywhere, but there are places
Everything
I only
past
use
this
Rector
point
instead of Syl. Most of them are very specific.
Is extremely
Affinity,
scary. I want to point out just how scary we're talking.
This is past floor 100.
Before people get the idea.
Everything
that
past this point
this place is like a theme park
is
for
extremely
noobs.
scary.
Don't get that
I
idea.
point out
I'm gonna straight up disprove that to you.
just how
Like,
scary we're talking.
Kale in this squad right now,
Before people get
it
the
would be
idea
very
that
difficult
this is
for me to keep him alive due to what's in here.
this place is like a theme park for
If
noobs.
I put one of the noobs from my clan in
don't
here,
get that idea.
they're
I'm
not
gonna
making
straight
it out
up
of here
disprove
alive.
that to you. Like if I
I
put
want to make that abundantly
Kale
clear
in this squad right
before
now,
anyone's like, "Oh,
it would be very
difficult."
difficult for me to keep him alive due to
Not
what's in
really.
here.
You'd be
If
surprised.
I put one of the noobs from my clan in here,
It takes a
they're
lot
not
of
making it out of
determination
here alive.
and
I
knowledge
want
to
to make
get
that
this far.
abundantly clear.
Most
before anyone's like,
raid
"Oh,
players
anyone can
will
do this."
fail to get this far.
Not really.
And I'm saying
You'd
this
be
with a complete
surprised.
ominous tone for a reason.
It takes a lot of
So
determination
unless you're like me and a complete video game
and
nerd,
knowledge to get this
you're
far.
not getting this far. I'm sorry, you're not.
Most
One
raid
of the-
players
One
will
of the
fail.
things will go wrong
to
and
get
you
this
will fail
far.
to get, like, Bommel will
And
stop
I'm saying
you.
this with a complete
One of the
ominous
terrors
tone for a
will
reason.
stop you.
So unless you're like
The very
me and a
fact we've
complete
gotten
video game
this
nerd,
far
you're not
is
getting this
highly
far.
impressive.
I'm sorry, you're not. One of the things will go wrong, and you will fail to get, like, Bommel will stop you.
Just want to point
One
that
of the
out.
terrors will stop you.
This is past floor.
The very fact
100.
we've gotten this far
I
is
repeat,
highly impressive.
it's past floor 100. I don't know, like, I'm frustrated with my second account because I can't
I just want to
get the
point that
Bommel
out
thing to
before-
work
No,
right now.
it's
Like,
not.
I just,
This
specifically
is
the
past
Templar
floor
strat.
100.
yes,
I
can
repeat,
get other stuff to
it's
work,
past floor
but not the
100.
Templar strat.
I don't know. Like I'm frustrated with my second account because I can't get the Bommel thing to work right now. Like I just specifically the
I just
Templar
can't get the
strat.
rhythm right now in my
Like,
head, and I've failed enough
Yes,
attempts at
I
that,
can
but I
get
just
other
don't feel
stuff
like it
to
right
work, but not the Templar
now. I would
strat.
rather try to see what's at the end of this tower than to continue. Because this is my first account in a long time. I mean a long time to get
Because
past Bommel 3 without
I just
losing
can't
it.
get the rhythm right now in
So,
my head.
I'm
and
like,
I've
okay.
failed enough attempts at that I just don't feel like it right now.
How, like, where
I would
is this
rather
going?
try
I
to see
need
what's
to
at the
get
end of this
further.
tower than to continue. Because this is my first account in a long time, and I mean a long time, to get past Bommel 3 without losing it. So
Okay,
I'm
well
like,
then.
okay. How, like, where is this going? I need to get further. Okay, well then.
This is going to sound bad. But I need my Gnarlhorn. Now you're like,
This is going to sound bad.
what's the purpose of the Gnarlhorn? You see, there is a very ominous enemy
But I need my Gnarlhorn.
in here called Mortu Macabre. And this
Now
enemy
you're like,
has to be controlled
what's the purpose of the Gnarlhorn?
in some regard
You see, there is a very
in
ominous
order
enemy in here
to progress.
called Mortu Macabre.
That is what Gnarlhorn is for.
And this enemy has to be
I
controlled
don't use him much, Gnarlhorn,
in some regard
but when I
in
do,
order
it's for stuff like this.
to progress. That is what Gnarlhorn is for. I don't use him
Literally
much.
for stuff like this.
Gnarlhorn.
This is what Gnarlhorn's for.
But when I do, it's for stuff like this.
Gnarlhorn's purpose in life is to do that
It's
move
literally for stuff like this. This is what Gnarlhorn's for.
and incapacitate the Mortu Macabre. That is Gnarlhorn's purpose in life.
Gnarlhorn's purpose in life is to do that move and incapacitate the Mortu Macabre. That is Gnarlhorn's purpose in life.
This is
This is
well, we are in for a very bad time. Because now
well, we are in for a very bad
I
time.
mistimed one thing. And we have lost complete control.
Because now
This is the danger. The danger that comes in this dungeon. The true danger of this dungeon.
I mistimed one thing and we have lost complete control.
Because
This is the danger.
you don't
The
see
danger
it. You really don't see it.
that
but
comes
we're on a
in
knife's
this
edge,
dungeon.
basically.
The true danger of this dungeon.
Because Ugo herself doesn't do a lot of damage. And
Because you don't see it. You really
We are
don't
in
see
some
it.
very
But we're on a
dangerous
knife's
waters.
edge, basically. Because Ugo herself doesn't do a lot of damage. And, we are in some very dangerous waters.
my main goal is to have the provoke available. That is my main goal here.
My main goal is to have the
turn meter
provoke
compression
available.
available.
That is my main goal here.
We're targeting that sausage specifically.
The provoke and the turn meter compression available.
Okay.
We're targeting that sausage specifically.
So, how are we going to deal with this?
Okay. So,
I know I need Gnarlhorn.
how are we
I think I'm
going
going to have to
deal
go
with
for the
this?
Gnarlhorn Paragon cheese. Quite seriously. And the reason I say that is I don't see how Ugo
I know I need
is going to make
Gnarlhorn.
it through here.
I think I'm going to have to go for the Gnarlhorn Paragon cheese. Quite seriously. And the reason I say that
Because
is I don't see how Ugo is going to make
I
it
need
through
something
here.
that can survive an unruly amount of punishment. That's what. Something that can endure past endless
'Cause
agony. That's the truth. Because if I don't have
I need something
like
that can survive an unruly amount of punishment. That's what.
We are
Something
in for a lot
that
of
can
pain.
endure past endless agony.
I think we're still in for a lot of pain.
That's the truth. Because if I don't have something like that, we are in for a lot of pain. I think we're still in
Okay,
for a lot
I
of
already
pain.
screwed this up. This floor
Okay,
is
I
an
already
absolute
screwed this
nightmare.
up.
This is the ultimate problem with facing Mortu Macabre teams. Is almost all of them
This floor is an
are
absolute
completely
nightmare.
awful like this.
This is the ultimate problem with facing Mortu Macabre teams. Is almost all of them are completely awful like this.
I'm trying to decide who I want to target. Probably Mortu Macabre.
Okay, I'm trying to decide who I want to
'Cause
target. Probably
Mortu Macabre
Mortu Macabre.
is extremely dangerous. Alright. I got him out of the equation. I think we're safe.
Because
At least this wave.
Mortu Macabre
The main reason we're safe is
is extremely dangerous.
the majority of Mortu's support has been cut out from underneath him.
Alright.
However, we still
got
need
him out of the
Mr.
equation. I
Paragon
think
here
we're
to
safe.
survive.
At least this wave.
Because the main purpose
Main
here of
reason we're
Paragon
safe
is to take
is-
some of the pressure off of
The majority of Mortu's support has been cut
Off
out
of,
from underneath him.
Mr.
However,
Gnarlhorn
we
here.
still need Mr. Paragon
Because
here to
unfortunately,
survive.
Gnarlhorn needs to have his provoke available.
Because the main purpose here
When
of
it comes to
Paragon
this
is to
wave.
take some of the pressure
Specifically.
off of Mr. Gnarlhorn here. Because unfortunately, Gnarlhorn needs to have his provoke available
Because if
when it comes to this
Mortu
wave.
takes a turn off of that,
Specifically.
we're in deep trouble. So we have to put a lot of control here. Then we have to kill the sausage. And then the rest.
Because
Oh
if
God!
Mortu
This is
takes a
why
turn off of
I
that,
hate. This is why I hate this area of Doom Tower.
in
Is
deep
because there's
trouble, so
always
we have to put
the
a lot of
worst
control
possible
here.
stuff. Like the stuff you absolutely do not want to face.
then we have to kill the sausage.
And the game's like, face it, you coward.
and then the
It's like,
rest.
oh great. Oh great.
Oh God! This is why
That's exactly
I hate.
what I wanted to hear.
This is why I hate this area of Doom Tower. Is because there's always the worst
That's
possible
exactly-
stuff. Like the stuff you absolutely do not want to face. And the game's like, face it, you coward. It's like, oh great. Oh great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
That's exactly.
And then I'll put an Iron Twins battle because I probably won't even get to the boss. Just because of how this tower works. I'm not even joking. This is how this works.
That's exactly what I
This
wanted to
is the
hear.
true spirit of what happens after you fight the Bommel.
And then I'll put an Iron Twins battle because I probably won't even get to the boss.
This is
Just because of how this tower
horror.
works. I'm not even joking. This is how this works. This is the true spirit of what happens after
true horror past
you
Bommel
fight the
3.
Bommel.
This is it. This is what
This
they're
is
trying to spare you.
The horror.
This horror.
The true horror past Bommel 3. This is it. This is what they're trying to spare you. This horror.
This is the BS that you really have to deal with. And it keeps going and going and going. And just when you think the game is done with you, it does it some more. Like,
This is
why-
the BS that you really have to deal with. And it keeps going
this
and
is why I
going and
don't
going.
like this area in the tower.
And just when you think the game is done with you,
Surprisingly,
it does it some more.
Syl is able to deal with this
Like this is why
with almost no issue.
I don't like this area in the tower.
Um,
Surprisingly,
is what it is.
Syl is able to deal with this with almost no issue.
Okay, we can get him down to the Jerags. Getting him down to the Jerags is pretty convenient
Which
because that means
is what
you
it
don't
is.
have much more. Because Jerag himself, by himself, is not big of a threat. Like he can fight bosses and stuff, but he's not
Yeah,
like
we can get him down
a
to the
massive
Jerags.
DPS threat.
Getting him down to the
Like, he's
Jerags
not
is
like
pretty
a turbo or
convenient
something really awful.
because that means we don't have much more. Because Jarrig himself,
joy,
by himself,
I do not.
is not big of a
I
threat.
do not want to
Like,
fight
he
this.
can
'cause I
fight
don't have
bosses
the
and stuff,
damage
but he's not.
supports I need.
He's
need
not
lot of
like
damage.
a massive DPS threat. Like he's not like a Turbold or something really, really awful.
Yes, Bellower. Bellower is what I need to develop. That's what I need for this floor.
Oh joy! I do not want to
Bellower will
fight
do the
this
job
because I don't have the
perfectly.
damage supports I
just need to
need. I
develop
need a
them.
lot of damage. Like
What? Yeah.
Let me see.
Bellower.
What would I go for?
Bellower
Yes,
is the answer
Bellower.
for the
Bellower
damage, 'cause that's
is
what
what
I'm
I
lacking
need to
really on
develop.
that floor is damage.
That's what I need for this floor.
And,
Straight
Bellower
up,
will
I
give
need
me
the
everything
Bellower.
I need, because that's
Bellower
they
will
said
do the
Bellower is
job
available for that
perfectly.
floor, and I'm like,
I just need to
oh
develop
hell
them.
yeah. Oh
like,
hell
what?
yeah.
Yeah, Bellower.
All right, that's
Bellower
the answer.
is the answer for the
Therein
damage, because that's what
lies
I'm lacking really on that floor is
the answer.
damage. And Bellower will give me everything I need, because that's they said if Bellower is available for that floor, and I'm like, oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. All right, that's the answer. Therein lies the answer.
Get them out of the equation.
Get them out of the
Go for that.
equation.
We're gonna want to kill off this guy first. This, like, destroy that Hackarn Smash Lord. Because otherwise, he is going to cause us
Go
a
for
lot of
that. We're gonna want to kill off this guy first. This, like, destroy that Hackarn Smash Lord. Because otherwise, he is going to cause us a lot of pain.
Okay, floor 97. What are we at here? Okay, yes, I have to bring in other magic dealers. Magic and spirit. So we're gonna bring in, you know, since I'm in the mood to do something aggressive. After
Okay,
that
floor
Pommel
97.
I'm gonna
What are
put
we
in
at
some
here?
aggressive options.
Okay, yes, I have to bring in other magic dealers. Magic and spirit. So we're gonna bring in,
Just because I feel like it.
you know, since I'm in the mood to do something aggressive. After that Bommel floor, I'm gonna put in some aggressive options.
I don't want to give them increased defense. Let me put it that way.
Just because I feel like it.
No. No, not Mashald. Not Mashald.
I don't want to give them increased defense. Let me put it that way.
Thank the Lord.
Oh no.
You do not want to know what happens when
No.
Mashald gets going. You
No,
don't.
not Mashald.
You don't. It's pain. It's
Not
so
Mashald.
much pain.
Okay. Thank the Lord. You do not want to know what happens when Mashald gets going. You don't. You don't. It's pain. It's so much pain.
Like, when Mashald gets going, you can... can kiss everything else goodbye.
Like, when Michelle gets going, you can...
Okay, you know what?
You can kiss
I'm
everything
going
else
to do it a
goodbye.
little differently. Still think I want Farrakhan, but I'm going to throw Kale into the mix. I don't normally do this, but this helps, I believe. We still do want to compress as usual.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to do it a little differently. Still think I want Farrakhan, but I'm going to throw Kale into the mix. I don't normally do this, but this helps,
we have to restart.
I believe. We still do want to compress as usual.
Alright, so what we're going to do is go over the top. Start again.
Okay, we have to restart.
Runs and plays.
Because...
Okay, I have to get rid of this
so
one
what we're going
lady.
to do is
I
go over
have
the
to.
top. Start again.
Yep, that had to be done. That had to be done.
Runs and plays.
Because I do not need...
Okay, I have to get rid of this one lady. I have to.
Crazy Astrolith. I did book my Farrakhan recently.
Yep, that had to be done.
Which
That had to be done.
should help versus
Because
Mashal.
I do not need...
I have to focus the living hell out of him. Lest he kicks
Crazy
my entire
Astrolith.
team's butt.
I did book my Farrakhan recently. Which should help versus the Mashald. I have to focus the living hell out of him. Lest he kicks my entire team's butt.
I'm not letting that Umbral live, because I don't need her control. If she starts getting the provokes, all's lost. It's that simple. All is lost. So, I just am not interested in that. Here, we're going to need to go for a little bit of a different setup here.
I'm not letting that Umbral live, because I don't need her control.
Because
if she starts getting the provokes, all's lost. It's that simple. All is lost. So I just am not interested.
I do not need Ethos.
Here we're going to need to go for a little bit of
entire
a different
I'm sorry. I've had enough of that.
setup here.
It happens enough to me in Arena.
Because of who's here.
Just believe me.
I'm going for the
Ethos does that.
I do not
why
need Ethos ripping my entire team to
If
shreds.
I see
I'm
the
sorry.
opportunity to go
I've had enough
first,
of
and I
that.
have a Farrakhan,
That happens enough to
you
me.
better
in Arena.
believe I'm gonna go all in him. You better believe it.
Ethos does that, and that's why I don't... If I see the opportunity to go first, and I have a Farrakhan,
First in the order.
you better believe I'm gonna go all in him.
This guy.
You
on the
better
far
believe
right.
it.
He is a massive issue.
Okay. First in
Why?
the order.
Because
This guy.
next is Rhodos.
On the far right.
Not having any of it
He is a
with Rhodos.
massive issue.
Because I know that
Why?
Rhodos will literally reset kill my
'Cause-
entire team. No thank you.
Next is Rhodos. I'm not having any of it with Rhodos.
We have to keep their turn meters down because the amount of continuous heals they have is extremely significant. And it will destroy
'Cause
everything
I know that
I've worked
Rhodos
so
will
hard
literally
for
reset kill my entire team.
if I don't do something about
No
it.
thank you.
Now the first
We have to keep their
priority
turn
here
meters down because the amount of continuous heals they
is
have is
the
extremely
Astrolon.
significant. And it will destroy everything
the
I've worked so
Astrolon
hard for if I don't do
is a
something
massive
about
threat. And I just contradicted myself like an idiot.
it. Now the first priority here is
And
the
that- and now I
Astrolon.
pay for it.
Because the Astrolon
Do what I said
is
there,
a
not what
massive
I
threat.
did. That's the thing.
And I just
Don't do
contradicted
what I just
myself
did.
like an idiot.
Just don't. Don't do it. I misclicked on the stupid.
And now I pay for it.
I misclicked on the stupid Elder Scar.
Do
which
what
is my
I
next target
said
anyway.
there, not what I did. That's the thing. Don't do what I just did. Just
There's
don't.
a reason he's my next target.
Don't
It's 'cause
do
I don't
it.
need to be true feared into
I
oblivion.
misclicked on the stupid.
Because that's what he's going to do next. He's going to just keep true fearing me and going
I
again
misclicked on the
increasing
stupid
his crit
Elder
rate,
Scar, which is my
true
next target
fearing me,
anyway.
and
But
like a Force Affinity version of Mashald. It's so obnoxious.
there's a reason he's my next target.
I've
It's 'cause
never
I don't need to
pulled
be
an Elder
true
Scar
feared into
or a-
oblivion. Because that's what he's
Or
going
a
to do
Mashald,
next. He's
but
going to
one
just
day,
keep true
with
fearing
any luck,
me and
I will.
going again and increasing his crit rate and true fearing me
So
and
the order
like a
is-
Force Affinity version of
Usually
Mashald.
it
It's
starts
so
with
obnoxious.
Baumel. Yeah, it
I've
starts
never
with
pulled an
Baumel.
Elder
The
Scar
next one
or
is
a
400 Scarab. Oh joy.
or a Mashald, but one day, with any luck,
Oh
I will.
joy. And we didn't even get a boss fight. And since I'm obligated to do a boss fight,
So the order
guess
is
what?
usually it starts with Baumel.
We're doing Iron
Yeah, it
Twins.
starts with Baumel. So the
Okay,
next one is
since we now have
400
Magic
Scarab.
Affinity,
Oh joy.
some Spirit Affinity champs will be bad.
Oh
in
joy.
this.
And we didn't even get a boss fight. And since I'm obligated to do a boss fight, guess
However-
what?
We are also free to try Ninja now. Drax
We're doing Iron Twins.
with
Okay, since we now have
a
Magic
side
Affinity,
of-
some Spirit Affinity champs will be bad in this.
Syl, obviously.
However,
And,
we are also free to try Ninja now. Drex with a side of Syl,
how about
obviously.
Taragi? I want to see how Ally Protect interacts with this boss.
And,
Okay. Oh,
how about
Ninja works
Taragi? I
well.
want to see how Ally Protect interacts with this boss. Okay.
Yep. Ninja works great versus this boss.
Oh, Ninja works well.
Did not get the decrease
Yep.
attack.
Ninja works great versus this boss.
Not bad. I did not want to have to go back into Baumel again. As much as you guys love Baumel, I don't want to get back into Baumel.
Did not get the decrease
Not right this
attack.
second. I'm sorry. I'm really sick of the Baumel fight. I know you guys
Not
are not
bad.
sick of the Baumel fight.
I did not want to have to go back into Baumel again. As much as you guys love Baumel,
But I am.
I don't want to get back into
I'm
Baumel.
totally sick of that fight.
Not right this second. I'm sorry. I'm really sick of the Baumel fight. I know you guys are not sick of the Baumel fight.